Every hockey scout notices speed first. If you're a step behind, you're invisible on the ice. Let me show you how to fix it. After helping hundreds of hockey players with their off-ice training, in this video, I'm gonna break down the 5 components of building unstoppable speed. So when it comes to skating faster, I'll separate this into 2 different buckets. The skating stride itself and the physical qualities that go into getting faster. So let's get right into it. Starting off with the stride, the first thing is stride length. Most hockey players are slow because they can't stay low within their stride. This leads to a shorter stride, meaning less power behind each push. Growing up, I was a fairly tall player with long legs, so naturally I had a hard time staying low. After years of frustration, I've figured out how you can fix this issue. First, you need to build hip mobility with an exercise like 45-degree hip rockers. This will allow you to access those deeper ranges so you can sit lower. Next is hip strength using high box step-ups, because if your hips aren't strong in those low positions, your body will naturally shorten the range of motion as a defense mechanism. And the last piece is hip endurance, mainly through split squat holds or lateral squat holds. Starting off with 2 to 3 sets of 30 seconds to 90 seconds. Because to sit lower, you need to actively train this position. These have worked wonders for myself to improve my own speed. But having a long stride is useless without the next point, which is stride frequency. Have you ever felt like your feet were too slow? Every week, hockey families reach out to me with their player needing faster feet. What they're referring to is stride frequency. This is your ability to quickly recover after pushing into the ice. The biggest thing to help with this is the strength of the groin. This is often weak because when you're pushing into the ice, you're using your outer hip muscles. But when you recover, there's no resistance at all, leaving a muscle imbalance. I would start using drills like Copenhagen planks, Copenhagen raises, or cable adductions to start fixing this. And now that we've covered the skating stride itself, I'll go into the physical qualities that go into bulletproofing your speed. Number 1 is strength. Strength is by far the biggest thing that helped me with my first step. If I had to pick one thing to focus on, it would be single leg strength. Think Bulgarian split squats, reverse lunges, single leg RDLs. The goal is building stability, strength, and coordination that will actually transfer onto the ice. Which brings us into the next point, power. A lot of players are strong but can't use that strength quickly, which is a power issue. If you look at a guy like McDavid, he has the ability to rapidly generate speed because of his power. Power is simply using your strength quickly, so pushing hard and fast into the ice with each push. The biggest driver of this is plyometrics, and this can fall into 2 categories. Number 1 is heavy loaded plyometrics, and the second one is lightly loaded plyometrics. Heavy loaded plyos would be trap bar jumps, for example, whereas lightly loaded jumps would be hurdle jumps, continuous vertical jumps, or double broad jumps. The major difference between these 2 is how much time you spend on the ground through each rep. Through trap bar jumps, the ground contact time is longer, meaning that it requires more of your muscle than your joints. Whereas with lightly loaded plyos, the ground contact time is shorter, so it's using more of your tendons and joints, which leads us into the last point, speed. I used to spend my off seasons in the gym and barely sprinting. Your speed only lasts for about a week of not training it. So to fix this, I would start sprinting at least 1 to 2 times per week, keeping the reps fairly short, under 10. And if your goal is more acceleration or first step quickness, I would only sprint from 5 to 15 meters. But if your goal is top speed, I would focus on 15 to 30 meter sprints. By training each of these components, you'll be faster coming into the season. And if you're wanting a fully custom program to build your speed, check our application link below.